Hello lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be picking my next read. We have a lovely selection to choose from. As before, I have a rotating TBR and these are the current books on it. I have just finished reading The Risk by Elle Kennedy and you should go watch my review on it. I think it's my best one yet personally. But anyway, originally I was going to continue on with that series, but at this current point in time, I'm kind of like, I want a little break from that series. Not from like the genre of sports romance as a whole. I kind of just want to break from that specific series because I'm kind of getting, I don't know how to put it, but I'm kind of wanting something a bit more fresh, and then I'm going to go back to it most likely. But anyway, the books we have up for today are My Vampire Plus One by Jenna Leving. This is a fake dating, supernatural romance, kind of I hate ya, you're annoying, we're gonna fall in love kind of vibes. Next up we have Behind the Net. This one is Grumpy Sunshine and Forced Proximity, Live-In Assistant, A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire, yet again Forced Proximity, Supernaturals, we get people who are forced to live together by a magic amulet. Also, ironically, earlier today I was explaining why, in the romance genre, why vampires and werewolves were such a big thing. And that led me on to trying to explain what the Omegaverse was to people who have not been on AO3 or Wattpad in a very long time, but also were not on it early enough to understand the rampantness of it and what certain things were. And I was just like, I don't know if I should explain things to you. I don't think you're mentally prepared for this. But anyway, continuing on with the books, we also have The Score by Elle Kennedy, which is book 3 in the Off-Campus series, which is in the same universe as the book I just finished reading. So I might keep within the same universe and continue reading this one. Then we also have My Dark Desire, which is a Forced Proximity, Cinderella retelling, but dark romance. Very different from the other books I have presented, kind of in vibes more, not in tropes, but in vibes different. Then we have Hate Mail, Enemies to Lovers, Pen Pal. Honestly, I'm kind of torn with what type of book I want to read. I'm leaning more towards My Dark Romeo out of the books I have, just because I've read a lot of sports romance and normal romance the past couple reads I've done, and I kind of want to break up the reads. And like, I want to get most of my chick flicks out of the way currently, because as many of you probably know, on the 18th, the new Hunger Game book is coming out. And I'm going to go, the minute it drops to the work, and go get the newest copy. I just like get some sort of thrill out of buying it in person. I love buying books in person more than I do online. I always, if I'm wanting to buy new books, try and do it in person because, I don't know what it is, but it's like walking into a bookshop and the minute you see your new book and you pick it up and you know this is my book. I just love that feeling, and I don't get the same feeling if I've ordered it from online and got it delivered. So I'm excited for the 18th, I just have to say. Anyway, out of the vibes of the books I've got here before me, a lot of them are in the same like sports romance kind of vibe. I'm thinking dark romance or supernatural romance. Like, might change it up a bit. I have been getting back into my Twilight phase because we had sunshine where I live for a couple of days, and then it was just like rain, depressing rain. And whenever it does that, I feel like I'm Bella Swan in that bit where Edward goes away and it's just like, and it's just her depressed over the seasons. Whenever it starts raining outside after it's been sunny, I feel like that, and I start watching the Twilight films again. And now I'm just like, damn, I could really use a vampire romance right now. And I'm also like, do I really want to go back into that so soon though? And I honestly don't know. I feel like I'm also waffling a lot today, and it's just because I don't know what I want to read, and I'm trying to like come to a logical conclusion of what I'm going to read. So sorry for the waffling. Please skip through this because I'm going to be waffling some more. I'm thinking maybe hockey romance because we still have the hockey season, but also at the same time, like, I have just read 3 hockey romances back to back, and I'm kind of like, need a little break because outside of reading hockey romances, I'm also starting to watch hockey, and I've been watching a lot of hockey blooper reels, so I'm just like, do I really have the brain capacity to watch even more and consume even more hockey than I currently do? And I'm kind of at the point of, no, this is too much hockey on the brain. Just save me, please. But also, I really like it. I honestly don't know. Or do I do a complete U-turn and read something else? because on my shelf I have, let me grab it, not these, like, I have quite a good selection of books that I'm interested in. Oh, we have What Lurks Inside the Shadows. Now this is proper dark stuff. Not in the sense of like the main characters, but it has a lot of trigger warnings. It's called What Hunts Inside the Shadows. This book is a medieval fantasy style book with religious purity culture in it. And when I explain that to people, it's like, why do you want to read a book that's in that styling that's not true? And like, I'm interested in medieval culture, and medieval culture was actually like that and very rampant. I used to study medieval like plays type things. Everyman I performed. That play is confusing. But anyway, I also have like Supper for Six. But murder is on the menu. I've been wanting to read some more murder mystery horror kind of things. I also have a graphic novel that's got a couple full illustrated pages, but more writing context as well. I do have some LGBTQ plus novels as well that I've been pretty keen to read. I've got The Fiancé Farce, and then I've got a couple others. I think I've got Claimed by the Orc Prince as well, which two male love interests, which would be fantasy. And I think the choices are between these two. I'm going to read the blurb. Supper for Six. The mystery of the Band Square has never been solved. On their infamous night in 1977, 6 strangers were invited for dinner at the Lady Sybil Anderson's Mayfair home. That is a long name. Only 5 made it out alive. Welcome to Supper for Six, the true crime podcast. I'm your host, Felix. Together we uncover what really happened that night. Let's dig in. See, I'm intrigued by this. It sounds like it's going to be written in podcast form. Oh, it's written in podcast form. So it's like chunk. It kind of looks like a script. From my brief flick over it, it looks like it's written like a script a bit. If I just open to a random page so I don't give like the plot away for myself, but like, can you see how it looks like it's written like a script a bit? Which is kind of intriguing, but I don't know. Right, or our other option, My Dark Desire. The task was simple: sneak into Zachary's son's closely guarded manor, retrieve my pendant, slip out. Problem 1, America's most unattainable bachelor caught me. Problem 2, he decided to keep me as the help. Zach's son's winter may be the coldest I've ever felt, but he makes my skin burn. Reserved, calculated, and savagely cruel, he thrives on the weakness of others. Little does he know, he just met his match. He may be American royalty, but this peasant will rise to be a queen. See, I'm intrigued by this, and from the brief glance I've taken, it looks to be dual POV, which would be similar to the last book I recently read. And like, I'm intrigued to read this one because Cinderella is one of my favourite retellings as well. And I keep coming back to this book as well when I've been choosing my previous books, but I honestly don't know. Say in the comments, out of the books I suggested, which one would you personally want to read more, and which one you're leaning more towards? Personally, I think I'm leaning towards My Dark Romeo, My Dark Romeo's second book, My Dark Desire. I love the cover so much. That is such a nice, pretty cover. But also, at the same time, I love the simplicity of this cover. It's so cute. This would be a shorter read, whereas this one, I'm feeling is going to be a long read. And it will... I just don't know. I've decided. Right. 2 books. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm just going to do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We have decided. I'll be reading My Dark Desire as my next book, but let me know which one you would have chosen. Anyway, that's all for today. I'll probably pop back in tomorrow or the next day doing a little read or a review if I've read it really fast. Anyway, that's all for today. Go read.